Roman Empire.
The Roman Empire was a powerful and vast civilization that ruled over much of Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East for centuries. It was known for its advanced architecture, engineering, and governance. But despite its strength, the Roman Empire began to decline in the 3rd century AD due to various factors. One major factor was internal strife and political instability. Emperors were often assassinated, leading to power struggles and civil wars that weakened the empire. Another factor was economic troubles. The empire faced inflation, high taxes, and a widening gap between the rich and the poor, which led to social unrest. Additionally, the Roman Empire faced external threats from barbarian tribes and invasions along its borders. As a result of these challenges, the Roman Empire began to fragment and lose its power. Finally, in 476 AD, the last Roman emperor, Romulus Augustulus, was overthrown by a Germanic chieftain named Odoacer, marking the symbolic end of the Western Roman Empire. However, it's important to note that the Eastern Roman Empire, also known as the Byzantine Empire, continued to thrive for several more centuries until it fell to the Ottoman Turks in 1453. So, in summary, the fall of the Roman Empire was caused by a combination of internal strife, economic troubles, external threats, and ultimately, the overthrow of the last emperor in 476 AD.
Byzantine Empire.
The Byzantine Empire, a beacon of culture, wealth, and power in the medieval world. But beneath its golden domes and towering walls, the empire was facing mounting challenges that would ultimately seal its fate. The main reason behind the fall of the Byzantine Empire lies in centuries of internal strife, corruption, and external pressure that weakened its military and economy. The first cracks in the empire's foundation appeared with the rise of the Ottoman Turks, a formidable force that coveted the riches of Constantinople and sought to expand their dominion across the region. But the Byzantines were not without allies. Desperate for assistance, they appealed to their European neighbors for aid, hoping to stave off the impending invasion. However, their pleas fell on deaf ears, and the empire stood alone against the tide of history. As the Ottoman siege tightened around Constantinople, the city's defenses were put to the ultimate test. For months, the Byzantine defenders fought valiantly, repelling wave after wave of enemy assaults with unwavering resolve. But despite their courage and determination, the Byzantines could not hold out indefinitely. On that fateful day in 1453, the walls of Constantinople were breached, and the once mighty empire was brought to its knees. The fall of Constantinople sent shockwaves across Europe and marked the end of an era of Byzantine glory and influence that had spanned over 1,000 years. Yet, amidst the ruins of the once great empire, its legacy endured. The Byzantine Empire may have fallen, but its impact on art, culture, and civilization lived on, shaping the course of history for centuries to come.
Ottoman Empire. Istanbul, the heart of the Ottoman Empire, a sprawling realm that once spanned 3 continents and dominated the eastern Mediterranean. But as the 19th century dawned, cracks began to appear in the empire's once unassailable facade. The main reason behind the fall of the Ottoman Empire lies in its inability to adapt to the changing tides of history. As Europe underwent a period of rapid industrialization and modernization, the Ottomans found themselves struggling to keep pace with the march of progress. The empire's decline was further exacerbated by internal strife, corruption, and ethnic tensions, as various ethnic and religious groups within the empire sought greater autonomy and independence. Yet, perhaps the greatest threat to the Ottoman Empire came from without, the encroaching influence of European powers eager to carve up the empire's territories for their own gain. As the 19th century progressed, the Ottoman Empire faced a series of devastating military defeats at the hands of European powers and nationalist uprisings within its own borders. The empire's last stand came during the First World War, as it found itself on the losing side of the conflict and facing occupation by Allied forces. Finally, on October 30, 1918, the Ottoman Empire signed the Armistice of Mudros, effectively ending its participation in the war and marking the beginning of its dissolution. In the years that followed, the once mighty Ottoman Empire was dismantled, its territories carved up among the victorious Allied powers, and its legacy consigned to the annals of history. Yet, amidst the ashes of empire, the Ottoman legacy endures, a testament to the complexities of history and the enduring spirit of a people who once ruled over vast swathes of the known world. Spanish Empire.
The backdrop of Spain's Golden Age, a period of unparalleled wealth and power fueled by New World riches and global trade. But beneath the surface of prosperity,
the seeds of decline were sown. The primary reason behind the fall of the Spanish Empire lies in its over-reliance on colonial wealth and its failure to adapt to changing economic realities. As silver shipments from the Americas dwindled and European rivals rose to prominence, Spain's once mighty empire began to crumble. Compounding Spain's economic woes were internal conflicts and political instability, as rival factions vied for power and influence within the empire. The empire's decline was further hastened by a series of military defeats and costly wars, including the disastrous Spanish Armada campaign and the draining conflicts in Europe and the Americas. By the 19th century, the once great Spanish Empire had been reduced to a shadow of its former self, as colonies declared independence and territories were lost to foreign powers. The empire's final blow came with the loss of its last major overseas possessions in the Spanish-American War of 1898, which saw the United States emerge as a new global power in the Western Hemisphere. On December 10, 1898, Spain signed the Treaty of Paris, officially ending its imperial ambitions and marking the end of an era. Yet, amidst the ruins of empire, Spain's cultural legacy endures, a testament to the enduring impact of its language, religion, and traditions on the world stage. Qing Dynasty. The Forbidden City, where the Qing Dynasty once ruled over a vast empire stretching from the mountains of Tibet to the shores of the Pacific Ocean. But as the 19th century dawned, the dynasty faced mounting challenges that would ultimately lead to its downfall. The main reason behind the fall of the Qing Dynasty lies in its failure to adapt to the changing realities of the modern world. While European powers embraced industrialization and modernization, the Qing rulers clung to traditional ways, leaving their empire vulnerable to foreign encroachment and internal unrest. The empire's decline was further exacerbated by internal corruption, economic mismanagement, and ethnic tensions among China's diverse population. Yet, perhaps the greatest threat to the Qing dynasty came from without, the encroaching influence of foreign powers eager to exploit China's vast resources and markets. The empire's last stand came during the tumultuous years of the 19th century, as it faced a series of devastating military defeats, including the humiliating Opium Wars and the bloody Taiping Rebellion. By the turn of the 20th century, the once mighty Qing dynasty was in terminal decline, its authority weakened, and its territories fractured by internal dissent and foreign encroachments. The final blow came with the Xinhai Revolution of 1911, which saw the abdication of the last Qing emperor and the end of over 2 millennia of dynastic rule in China. Aztec Empire. Mesoamerica, where the mighty Aztec Empire once reigned supreme, its capital city of Tenochtitlan standing as a marvel of engineering and culture. But beneath the surface of grandeur, tensions simmered that would ultimately spell doom for the empire. The main reason behind the fall of the Aztec Empire lies in the arrival of Spanish conquistadors led by Hernán Cortés. Though vastly outnumbered, Cortés and his men exploited internal divisions within the empire and enlisted the help of rival indigenous groups to overthrow Aztec rule. The empire's decline was further exacerbated by the devastating impact of European diseases, such as smallpox, which decimated the indigenous population and weakened the Aztecs' ability to resist Spanish conquest. Yet, perhaps the greatest blow to the Aztec Empire came with the fall of Tenochtitlan, which was besieged and captured by Spanish forces in 1521 after a brutal months-long siege. The empire's last stand came on August 13, 1521, when Emperor Cuauhtémoc surrendered to Cortés, marking the end of over 2 centuries of Aztec rule in Mesoamerica. Yet, amidst the ruins of empire, the legacy of the Aztec civilization endures, a testament to its achievements in art, architecture, and astronomy, and its enduring influence on the culture of modern-day Mexico. British Empire. Victorian England, where the sun never set on the British Empire, a vast realm that spanned continents and dominated global trade and politics. But beneath the grandeur of empire, cracks were beginning to form. The main reason behind the fall of the British Empire lies in its inability to adapt to the changing winds of history. As the 20th century dawned, colonial subjects began to demand independence, and nationalist movements swept across the empire, challenging British rule. The empire's decline was further hastened by the devastating effects of 2 world wars, which drained Britain's resources and shattered its economy. Yet, perhaps the greatest blow to the British Empire came with the loss of key colonies and territories, particularly in Asia and Africa, where movements for self-rule and independence gained traction. The empire's last stand came with the Suez Crisis of 1956, which exposed Britain's weakened position on the world stage and marked the beginning of the end of its imperial ambitions. By the mid-20th century, the once mighty British Empire had been reduced to a shadow of its former self, its territories scattered and its influence waning. The final blow came with the granting of independence to Pakistan in 1947, followed by a wave of decolonization that saw the British Empire dissolve into a Commonwealth of Nations.
French Empire.
Napoleonic France, where Emperor Napoleon Bonaparte sought to forge a vast empire that would rival the great empires of antiquity. But beneath the veneer of imperial glory, cracks were beginning to appear. The primary reason behind the fall of the French Empire lies in its overextension and the relentless pursuit of military conquest. Napoleon's ambitious campaigns across Europe sparked resistance and resentment among neighboring powers, ultimately leading to his downfall. The empire's decline was further exacerbated by economic hardships and social unrest at home, as the cost of war drained France's resources and fueled discontent among the populace. Yet, perhaps the greatest blow to the French Empire came with the catastrophic defeat at the Battle of Waterloo in 1815, which marked the end of Napoleon's reign and the restoration of the Bourbon monarchy. The empire's last stand came during the tumultuous years that followed, as France grappled with political instability and the rise of competing ideologies, including republicanism and imperialism. By the mid-19th century, the once mighty French Empire had been reduced to a mere shadow of its former self, its territories diminished, and its influence waning on the world stage. The final blow came with the loss of France's colonial possessions in Africa, Asia, and the Americas, as nationalist movements and anti-colonial struggles swept across the globe in the 20th century.
Soviet Union.
Moscow, where the Soviet Union once stood as a formidable force on the world stage, challenging the dominance of the West and spreading communist ideology across the globe. But beneath the surface of socialist solidarity, cracks were beginning to appear. The main reason behind the fall of the Soviet Union lies in its failure to adapt to the changing geopolitical landscape and the economic inefficiencies of central planning. As the 20th century progressed, the Soviet economy stagnated, unable to keep pace with the technological advancements of the West. The empire's decline was further hastened by internal dissent and ethnic tensions among the diverse peoples of the Soviet Union, who sought greater autonomy and independence. Yet, perhaps the greatest blow to the Soviet Union came with the policies of glasnost and perestroika implemented by Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev, which inadvertently accelerated the empire's collapse by opening the floodgates of political dissent and economic chaos. The empire's last stand came with the failed coup attempt of August 1991, when hardline communists sought to overthrow Gorbachev's government and preserve the unity of the Soviet Union. But their efforts were in vain. On December 25, 1991, the Soviet Union was officially dissolved, marking the end of over 7 decades of communist rule and the beginning of a new era of uncertainty and transition.
Wasn't that fascinating? Join me in next video as we dive into even more captivating topics. If you enjoyed this exploration, don't forget to spread the word. Like, share, comment, and most importantly, subscribe to my channel. See you then.